Hello, and welcome back to my channel, as I sort of welcome myself back to my channel here. During my upteenth visit to the Dairy Queen, Queen let me know that she has gotten into the non-dairy game. She's done so with the not-so-creatively titled Non-Dairy Dilly Bar. With that in mind, I thought, why not put together a whole fast food vegan meal? And to do so, I'm gonna head on over to Burger King as well to get the Impossible Whopper. Sure, it came out a year ago, but no one else has gotten into the game. Not even Miss Wendy, who ran out of ground beef in some locations. Should have thought about it, Wendy. After that, we're gonna be doing something a little controversial as I share my thoughts on the near-month-old album Chromatica from Lady Gaga. Lastly, we'll talk about something that's not controversial, that Black Lives Matter. I've actually never even had the regular Whopper. Understanding the appeal of that to me is impossible. I'm gonna be getting it without mayo or onions. Mayo is not vegan or good, and when it comes to onions, I only have it fried or fun. Meow, 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 and dairy. Save cows, save cows, save cows, save cows, no dairy. Meow, 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 to save the cows. 'Tis all I ever wanted for lunch. Hi, could I get an Impossible Whopper meal?
You want cheese or bacon on it?
No thanks, and could I also get it without onions and mayo?
Yeah. What size?
I'll do a small.
Which one?
A pink lemonade, please.
Anything else?
That'll be it.
Alright, that's going to be 902.
Alright, thank you. As you can see, I've grown out of face diapers.
I'm a big kid now.
Thank you. You too, thanks. We've got a vegan lunch. I wonder where they think I'm going after this, based on what I'm wearing. Probably like to the beach. No. Going back home to eat all this alone.
Hi, welcome to Take Two. How can I help you?
Hi, could I get a non-dairy dilly bar?
Yeah, anything else?
That'll be it.
Okay, total is 233.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
I bet they are shook at how little I'm getting, and rightfully so. This is at least the second time I've come here with food from other places. I hope they don't notice. Thank you. Non-dairy. Burger King was actually using both of its windows. That never happens. I don't know if that's like a social distancing thing, but if it is, I mean, hey, that's something good that came out of this. Alright, first let's start out with our Whop Whop. It is quite big. No Whop Whop from me in that department. Not gonna lie, it smells a little fishy. But my dog also smells, so he could be contributing to that problem. He honestly smells like he rolled in a dead animal. He is not being vegan today. Okay. So look at that, like, my head's gone. What? It's so big. Look at the bottom of the bun. You know, you got like some flour on there. That is artisanal, BK. I wish that they had like a vegan cheese that came with it, because usually I do get cheeseburgers, but if we want the full vegan experience, we can't be having that. First bite though, it's pretty good. It has a good flavor. It doesn't taste fishy, at least. Some high C, I give it a high C. What do I look like, a 6-year-old? Don't answer that. The meat is very convincing for sure. I'm very impressed with that part. Don't get me wrong, this is a great option for people to have, but I know that Wendy's or McDonald's could do this so much better. Like, Burger King is not the best at anything. Anything. He is a king in name and name only. It's time for dessert. We've got our non-dairy dilly bar. It is made with coconut. That is how we get the ice cream. Usually I am not cuckoo for coconut, but I'm cool with the flavor. It's not covering my whole face this time. It's more like a dairy-free detective. Wow. I dig this a lot. Seriously, the coconut flavor is so minimal, it's basically vanilla. It's crazy. Now, ultimately, I am partial to blizzards, and I will continue to be. But I'm curious to see if they could somehow implement this coconut ice cream into blizzards. I think that would be a really cool option to have. Alright, let's talk Chromatica. First and foremost, the trilogy that is known as Chromatica 1, 2, and 3. If we want to rank it amongst other trilogies, I would rank it above The Hangover and below Toy Story if we're not talking about Toy Story 4, which let's not. I would consider it to be essential to the album. I wouldn't listen to it on its own, but it really helps with the flow of it. I'm really glad that she placed Alice where she did because it's something we hadn't heard prior to the release of the album. It wasn't released as a single. Just really, the vocals were there and it was an ampy song, you know, it amped you up for what was to come. Most fans were probably already sick of Stupid Love by the time the album came out. I get it. Lyrically, it's not the best, but I don't know. I think I'm biased because it was a single, knowing that it sort of had an impact. I just like it, okay? Instrumentally, it goes hard for me. And I know it's not even a new sound for her. It sounds like other songs that she's put out. But I like it, okay? Rain on Me. I was so happy to see that hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was well deserved. It is so good. When it came out, I was voguing to myself in my bed. I was about to go to sleep and I couldn't after that. Free Woman is definitely overshadowed by the 3 songs that preceded it. However, I still appreciate it. I appreciate it especially vocally. I think she really goes off there. Fun Tonight. This, for me, was the first true dud of the album. And that's not to say I won't listen to it, but it sounds like something that should have been on Joanne, just with a little sprinkle of club in it. And I think if you're going to go that route of combining Chromatica with Joanne, why not go in like a Cotton Eye Joe type sound? Would it be as good? Would it help it at all? I don't know, but at least it would make it a little more noteworthy. I like 911, but I think it's hurt by Fun Tonight because it's just not as strong. To go into that and it's like all robot, like I think that this is a song where you really need to be like into it. And because I wasn't so into Fun Tonight, it kind of ruined my time with 911. On the first listen, Chromatica 2 definitely helps the transition a little bit, but it's still, it's not enough. If I'm listening to it on its own, yeah, I'm into it. But Fun Tonight drags it down for me. I'm sorry. Plastic Doll is another one that's just okay. To me, it's like the song form of a knockoff Barbie that you'd get at Christmas, and you'd take it, but you'd ultimately be disappointed. Of course, not talking specifically about myself, because the season of giving includes giving into toxic masculinity. Sour Candy. I'll be honest, upon first listen, I was puckering, you know, like, it's sour. But then, over time, first they're sour, then they're sweet. Yeah, it grew on me. Yes. It was a little grating to me at first, but once you just let loose and get into it, it's all good. When I first listened to the album in full, Enigma was a song that really revived that middle portion. It was just very groovy, and I love the little horns scattered throughout. It sounds really cool to me, very, very nostalgic. Replay, that chorus just puts me in a trance, and who doesn't need that right now? Sign from Above is very, very 90s club, especially. It all kind of is, but this one especially. When I saw that Elton John would be featured, I didn't know what to expect, and what we were given, I did not expect. It's not necessarily bad. To me, it was very reminiscent. His vocals was very reminiscent of Barbie Girl by Aqua. And that's fine. I like that song. I think it's of the era. It brings back memories. But it's not the sound you'd expect from Elton John. Like, I'm glad that they're friends, and I presume that either he wasn't paid much for this or not paid at all. Because, like, if they were just meeting each other and he was given, like, a lot of money to be featured, I don't think that the performance would have been worthy of the payment. Some people don't dig the end of it, you know, like the 20-second rave, but I'm down for a 20-second rave. I'm into it. Thousand Doves is a pain in the neck, and I mean that in a good way. This is the song where I'd be swinging around my head, and by the end of the night, I would be so sore. Babylon is exactly where it needs to be at the end. It is so creative lyrically, sonically, it is fun, the horns scattered throughout, and it really helps you look back fondly on the album as a whole. As of this filming on June 24th, not a single one of the 3 police officers involved in the murder of Breonna Taylor have been arrested. Just recently, one of the officers was fired from the department, but how they were not immediately arrested after that is unbelievable. The lack of action towards this is a slap in the face to Breonna's family. This could have happened a week into protest, and it still would have been absolutely disrespectful. Protests should not have been necessary to begin with, but yet they were, and they continue to be necessary. Louisville was also the scene of complete voter suppression. Half of all Black Kentuckians live in Jefferson County, and yet Jefferson County only had 1 polling place. This was for 600,000 people, and yet we know full well that these are issues that go beyond Kentucky and beyond both our voting system and our criminal justice system. In the description below, I've listed a few organizations that I've donated to. Even if you're unable to donate right now, these are important tools that you can use to educate yourself on issues that you may not have been as familiar with. This is a continuous fight, and however you go about continuing with this fight, know that you are making a difference, and the only way you wouldn't be is if you didn't do anything at all. For now, I'm going to lay out some tofu for my dog to roll in. Until next time. They're fine. They're actually